Stop everything you're doing. What the actual hell is this? What's up, my friends? Last week we got some unsettling news about the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl games. The games, while supposedly striving to be a faithful remake, apparently does not let you turn off or even change the EXP share. Who thought this was a good choice? Didn't the message from the last games get accounted for? The EXP share since Generation 6 being X and Y has been an item that affects the entire party. That was a thing that many of us older fans weren't too overjoyed about, since it made it way too easy to get overleveled early on. Still, you could turn it off at least, until Sword and Shield, where it was completely unable to be turned off. That is not a good business practice. You need to give the players the option to change features like this to best suit their playstyle, or at least give the player the option to switch back to the classic EXP share. The thing is, this game is just all over the place. It's claimed to be so faithful, but only in certain areas. This inconsistency is just frustrating players like me and, well, everyone else that cares about these games. For example, it was revealed that more Sword and Shield features returned, such as auto-saving and access to the Pokemon storage from anywhere. And then in the middle of all these things, somehow the darn TMs of all things are back to being one-time uses again. Then HMs are back but aren't learned by party Pokemon. What? Why is there no clear line in what's considered to be faithful for Ilca and the Pokemon Company? The games look fine, don't get me wrong, but this is just so weird and it doesn't have to be that way. In a sense, it also brings up the question of who's really at fault. Maybe Ilca wanted to keep it truly faithful, but the Pokemon Company stepped in and said no. And of course, we also must avoid spreading hate towards the individual developers, since they're literally just doing what they're told. No, the real problem is someone much higher up. This makes me wonder what other small features could have been changed, and yet still referred to as faithful. It really shouldn't be that hard to stick with one formula. I just don't get marketing these games mainly as faithful remakes of beloved classics, then doing weird stuff like this. Please remember that not all publicity is good publicity. I feel like every new Pokemon game as of late has been painfully dragged down by some new controversy or heated fan debate. I mean, sure, Pokemon itself has always been the target of controversy, like animal abuse and such, but this is strictly about the game design now. How hard is it for a company to notice and, most importantly, listen to what the majority of the fans want? And look, I know that some of y'all don't mind the EXP share being the way it is. Of course, everyone's different, but that's just why there needs to be options. We don't need some one-style-fits-all mentality. It doesn't work that way. Sorry for this short rant of mine. It's because I care so much about Pokemon and always will that stuff like this just gets me frustrated. Diamond and Pearl were my first Pokemon games, and naturally this stings a little bit more than I'd like to admit. Let me know what you think of this situation. Is this behavior alright? Do you even care at all? Whatever the case, let me know and I'll see you later. Thanks.